Have you ever been really good at something and noticed that a certain person stopped talking about it? They used to cheer for everyone. They used to celebrate every win around them. But when it came to you, there was just silence, no reactions, no congratulations, just a strange, uncomfortable quiet. And you felt it. You could not explain it, but something was off. Today, we are going to talk about exactly what is happening in those moments. What jealous people do when they realize they simply cannot compete with you. And by the end of this videos, you will never misread those signs again. Let us start with something important. Jealousy does not always look the way people think it does. Most people picture jealousy as something loud, angry, obvious, but in real life, the most dangerous jealousy is quiet. It hides behind a smile. It disguises itself as concerns. It sits right next to you at dinner and never once shows its face. That is what makes it so hard to see. And that is exactly what we are breaking down today. The first thing jealous people do when they cannot compete with you is go completely silent about your wins. Think about someone in your life who celebrates everyone else. They share other people's news, they comment, they react. They make a big deal out of every little thing for almost everyone. But when something good happens to you, there is nothing, no message, no reactions, no acknowledgement, just silence. And here is the thing about that silence. It is not accidental, it is a choice, a very deliberate, very painful choice. Jealous people physically cannot bring themselves to celebrate something they secretly wish was theirs, so they say nothing. They scroll past. They pretend they did not see it, because acknowledging your win out loud would mean admitting to themselves that you have something they do not, and that is a truth they are not ready to face. The second thing they do is they suddenly become very, very busy. You will notice this pattern clearly if you pay attention. Before a certain point in your growth, they were always around, always available, always the first to show up. But as you started moving forward, as your life started looking different from theirs, they started disappearing, slowly at first, then more noticeably, and they always have a reasons. Work got busy, life got complicated, things came up. But here is what is really happening. Being around you became emotionally expensive for them. Every time they see you, they are reminded of where you are and where they are not. Every conversation becomes a mirror that shows them a reflection they do not like, so they avoid the mirror. They avoid you, not because they hate you, but because you became a reminder of everything they have not yet done. And for some peoples, that is simply too much to sit with. Now this third one is the most subtle and the most dangerous. When jealous people cannot compete with you openly, they start planting doubt. Not loudly, not in a way that is easy to catch, but in quiet moments, in small sentences. In carefully chosen words, they say things like, "I just want to make sure you are being realistic. I mean, it sounds great, but are you sure? I just don't want you to get hurt." And it sounds like care. It sounds like they are looking out for you. But if you pay attention, it only ever comes up when you share something good, when you are excited, when you are moving. Real support does not make you smaller. Real support adds fuel. What they are doing is the opposite. They are quietly, gently trying to slow you down. Because if they cannot rise to your level, the next best thing in their mind is to bring your level closer to theirs. This is one of the most important patterns to recognize, because it comes from people you trust, people you believe care about you, and it does the most damage, precisely because it looks like love. The fourth thing jealous people do is start taking credits. Once your success becomes undeniable, once people around you start noticing, they will find a way to attach themselves to it. I always believed in them. We used to talk about this kind of thing all the time. I think I actually inspired that idea. And you will stand there, almost confused. Because they were not there, they did not support it. Half the time they were the ones questioning it. But now that it is real, now that it is visible, they want to stand in the light of it. This is actually one of the most revealing signs of jealousies, because it means they respect what you built. They know it matters. They just cannot say that directly. So instead they try to own a small piece of it. Watch for this, because it tells you exactly how someone truly feels, even when their words never will. The fifth thing is comparison, but not the kind that builds anything. Jealous people compare out loud. They bring up other names, other achievements, other people's results. Sure, but have you seen what this person did? I mean, it is good, but it is not exactly groundbreaking. There are people doing way more than that at your age. They need your success to feel smaller. They need it to fit into a box. That does not make them feel too far behind. And so they reach for comparisons. They look for ways to shrink what you did, not because it is small, but because if it stays big, the gap between you becomes undeniable. Here is what you need to remember. You do not work to minimize something that does not threaten you. The comparison itself is the confessions. Now, the sixth thing is something most people never even notice. Jealous people start mimicking you. They pick up your language, your habits, the way you carry yourselves, and at first it feels flattering. But over time you realize they are not inspired by you. They are trying to close the distance. They cannot match your results, so they try to match your surface, your styles, your tone, your energy, as if copying the outside will somehow produce the same inside. It never works that way. But the attempt itself tells you everything about how they see you. The seventh thing, and this one is the deepest, is that they become overly critical. Suddenly everything you do has a flaw. Every decision could have been better. Every result could have been bigger. Every move you make comes with a quiet commentary, and it feels personal because it is. Criticism from jealous people is not about helping you improve. It is about maintaining a sense of superiorities in the only place they can still find it. If they cannot beat you in results, they will try to beat you in judgment. They will be the one who always saw the flaw you missed, the mistake you made, the thing you could have done differently. Because that rolls, being the one who knows better is the last place their ego can breathe. Now here is the part that changes everything. Understanding all of this is not about blaming people. It is not about cutting everyone off or walking around suspicious of everyone who goes quiet. Jealousy is a deeply human emotion. Almost everyone has felt it at some point. The people who carry it quietly are often people who are hurtings, people who want more for themselves, but have not yet figured out how to go get it. People who look at your life and feel the weight of their own unlived potential. That is painful. And sometimes that pain comes out sideways, not as an attack, not as honesty, but as silence, distance, subtle doubt, and quiet resentments. Understanding that does not mean you accept it. It means you stop taking it personally. Because here is the truth. You cannot control how your growth makes other people feel. You cannot shrink yourself to make them comfortable. And you should not. The only honest response to someone's jealousies is to keep going, quietly, consistently, without needing their approvals, without waiting for their applause, without shrinking the visions just to keep the peace. The people who are genuinely for you get louder when you win. They show up more as you grow. They celebrate you without it costing them anything. Hold those people close, and the ones who go quiet, who disappear, who plant doubt instead of beliefs, let them show you exactly who they are. That information is not something to be hurt by. It is something to be guided by. Use it and keep moving.